the giant Earthship Ark, drifting through deep space over 800 years into the far future. Its passengers, the descendants of the last survivors of the dead planet Earth, locked in separate worlds, heading for destruction. Unless 3 young people can save the Starlost.
Down here, put him on the table. You get his feet. They swarmed all over him. They must have taken 100 stings. Something upset them, and if you want to know what I think, it's these damn vibration echoes. Sending the bees' signals back. Maddens them. That's what did it. You can't upset them. Don't you understand that yet? Anything will do with equipment, strangers. What are you 3 doing here anyway?
Your wife let us in.
Well, she shouldn't have, so you can leave right now. Keeble, get him out of here. Instruct security that we don't want any more interruptions.
Look, I don't intend to be pushed out of here or anywhere until I find out what I came to find out.
And every communication system in the bounce tube signals automatic alarm at station C100. Something's going on in here.
Nothing's going on in here. I ought to know. I'm the director. And, just what kind of alarm are you talking about?
We checked it on the sphere projector. The sensors picked up signals. They translate as impending threat. That's all we know.
Impending threat? This is a zoological station. We specialize in honeybees. If there's any threat in honeybees, this Ark is in worse shape than we think it is.
You can't blame them. They came here in answer to an alarm.
Well, they've seen that everything's all right, so they can leave now and let us get on with our work. Keeble and I have to calm down the swarm.
We haven't seen anything. Look, maybe something's up even you don't know about.
What are we supposed to think, finding something like this?
Kalisher, he's a damn fool. Too young, too ambitious. Understanding bee talk, my eye.
Your helmet, Dr. Marshall.
No.
He's coming around.
Don't let my husband throw you. He takes his duties very seriously. You see, he became director here 27 years ago when the entire place was run down. There were no personnel. Everything was a shambles. Now we're the best-run zoological lab in the Ark. As for him personally, he's under a terrible strain at the moment. But he's really a marvelous human being. And I would never take too seriously anything that comes to you through the communication system, because it is, after all, unmonitored. It'll say anything.
Does this happen often?
We're all stung, as a matter of course, yes. But no, this can only happen when the colony is upset. Normally they're peaceful.
If this is a zoological lab, where are the other animals?
There are no others. We are specialized entomologists. We specialize in a few dozen of the more interesting of 20,000 insects of the superfamily Apoidea of the order of Hymenoptera. The Ark has always kept bees for emergency food supplies and to stock the planet that we finally land on. But for us, honey's not important, or even the cross-pollinization, which is the bee's main duty. We are fascinated by their habits, by their social organization. Kalisher here wants to know what they talk about.
I don't know. There's something about this place still seems weird to me.
I agree. I think we should check that communication warning was false.
Well, look around. Keeble will take you.
Wait a minute. You 2 go. I want to talk to Kalisher.
You're going to be groggy. The antivenom was fairly strong. How do you feel?
Oh, what happened to me? I remember.
I narcotized you. But you're going to feel the stings for several days.
Oh, they came out of nowhere. They were all around me. They attacked like crazed beasts.
Easy, Ron.
Beekeeping is thousands of years old. Nothing really changes. Our best strains are the Italian, that's yellow, the European black bee, and a couple of races of grays, the Cariolan and the Caucasian. Those hives hold about 100,000 each.
Can you tell me what really happened in there? Why did they attack you? I don't know. I can't figure it out. I can't figure anything out. My tapes, I've got to play them over.
Well, everything looks all right, I guess. That communications alarm must be out of kilter or something.
What did you hear?
What did I hear? Well, what is there to hear except that interminable humming? It defies all the logical rules of communication. I mean, we've already got 162,000 meaningful expressions from the dolphin. And even I can translate 30,000 of those with the naked ear. The rest the computer takes care of in split seconds. Gulls are so damn limited, you can get their whole vocabulary into a half-inch reel. Well, chimpanzees are nothing orally, but they're terrific at sign language. We even have a machine to do sign readouts. But those bees...
Just what do you say?
There's no communication in the ordinary way. But what puzzled me was how they could just go on humming interminably and never say anything. And that's when I thought of the principle of radio broadcasting. You've got this carrier wave, which goes out more or less steady. And then you modulate it so that someone can receive the carrier waves and interpret the modulations into literal meanings. So why couldn't the bees do this? Modulate the humming, which could be the carrier waves? So all I did was simulate the same kind of sound on my sonic box and modulate it with an interrupter, purely at random. I was concentrating on it so much, I just forgot. And when I looked up, they were diving in at me from all directions, attacking as though they hated or resented me, or were infuriated. What's that?
I don't know.
Sounds like pellets hitting the door, like handfuls of gravel.
Pete is out there. Pete, can you hear me?
Can't be. Bees don't make.
They are. They're attacking. They're battering the iris with their bodies like bullets from a machine gun.
Pete, are you all right? Pete? What's that buzzing?
Must be the swarm. Dr. Marshall must be having trouble getting them back into the hives.
Should you be helping him? Maybe we're keeping you.
I don't know. Dr. Marshall? Dr. Marshall, this is Keeble. Do you need our help? We'd better get back. They may need us.
Pete, can you hear me?
I've never heard anything like it.
Supply bunker, supply bunker. Heat and movement sensors report on the presence of Dr. Marshall.
Supply bunkers vacant. Supply bunkers vacant.
Check service gallery A15. Check service gallery A15.
Service gallery A15 vacant and sealed. Vacant and sealed.
I did not issue orders to seal service gallery A15. Why is it sealed?
Automatic sealing triggered by escape of bees. Estimated 35,000 bees from hive CMA swarming in service gallery A15.
Well, who let them out?
What's happening, Dr. Marshall?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be so irritable. Oh, what a time for another swarm. The poor man already has his hands full with the bunch that went berserk. I think I'll have to help.
I think there's something wrong, and I think you know it.
He didn't answer. I am worried.
What about Rachel and Garth?
They'll be all right. They're only in the transport tubes. Keeble wouldn't go any further than that without getting a clearance. He knows perfectly well how Pete feels about anyone, even ourselves, going anywhere near his precious experimental bunkers.
No, I don't think we should take a chance. I want you to get them out of there now. Please, Doctor.
Harry Keeble, report, please. Harry Keeble, report, please. What the devil's the matter with the tube grills? They've got into the transport tubes. We have to warn Keeble before he leads them in there. I mean, he's been stung 1,000 times. He has a certain natural immunity, but Rachel and Garth are another matter. Harry Keeble, answer, please. Answer. Harry Keeble, identify your location. Remain where you are. Stay exactly where you are. Open no irises. Unidentified swarms loose in service galleries and transport tubes. Harry Keeble, answer, please.
Harry Keeble, what's up, Dr. Marshall?
Identify your location, Harry.
Tube A17. We're on our way back to help. Did you know some of the bees got loose?
They've got into the service galleries, Harry, and into some of the transport tubes. I don't know yet which ones. You'll have to stay wherever you are until I can get through to Pete.
Don't worry, Dr. Marshall. We'll be all right. We won't upset them. But I better get back and give Pete a hand.
No, don't risk it. Listen, Harry. They've been beating against the iris from the tropical gardens. A lot of them have gone berserk. Wait where you are.
Oh.
Ron?
What's going on? What happened to you? It's not possible. I don't believe it. It's just not possible in this world or any other world.
What did you hear? Now tell us.
I couldn't believe it if I saw it with my own eyes. We've got to get out of here. All of us. All of us. We've got to seal this place up so no one can ever get in here again. And nothing inside can ever get out.
You're all right. I was worried.
You know they've gone berserk. I got one swarm back, and 2 others got out, then another. There must be 3 swarms all over the passage, and you want to know why? Right there. There! That idiot!
Well, it can't be helped. They'll calm down.
Will they? You ought to hear them. They've gone wild. You provoked them. You mocked them with simulations of their own voices. You insulted them. You irritated the membranes of their oral mechanisms.
What are you saying?
His insults and have upset the entire place.
It's ridiculous. Insects don't have feelings. Why, they're not even aware of us, unless we get in their way. But to ascribe some kind of feelings or some kind of intelligence, it's plain nonsense.
What do you know about it? How much time have you spent in study? How much of your life have you spent with nature's brightest, sanest, most productive creatures? Your ignorance is beneath contempt.
That isn't important now, because Keeble has Rachel and Garth on a tour of the tubes. Now, I've told them to stay put, but they're stuck there until we get the swarms out.
Stuck? Stuck where? I don't want them in that tube. I banned them, I closed them off. I don't want anybody interfering with my experiments.
Stop it! There are 2 people who have never done anything to you in danger. Keeble is with them. Loyal Harry Keeble, who would do anything for you. I had a terrible time talking him into staying there with them. How safe do you think he'd be trying to get through those swarms without his net and gloves? My love, you have got to get through to them. You are the only one who can handle those bees.
You know, sometimes I think as a bee lady, you're a bust. I'll go and get him.
All right. There. Just take it easy now. Just take it easy.
Dr. Pete interrupted us. You never told me what you heard.
Didn't I?
No, you didn't.
I mean, you hear a lot. I can't put my finger on it.
Now, Kalisher, I think you did hear something. I want to know what.
I don't know for sure. I'll have to check it out. One thing I've learned is not to make hasty judgments. That's why I want to hook into the large computer. So far as I'm concerned, we'll let it collate the facts. Then you can scan the readout yourself, and I wipe my hands with the whole thing.
Tropical Gardens adjacent transport tube A17. Excessive mass reaction. B emanations to infinite power.
What does that mean?
Oh, that's not me talking. That's the computer. Ask Dr. Pete, Dr. Heather.
Do you know what it means?
That is not my field. I know nothing of bee mass. As for an emanation, I've never measured one in my life. I mean, it's all noise to me, from one swarm to a dozen.
Emanation 4 bees.
All the emanations measured in tube A17 comes from 4 bees. Now, you explain it. I can't. Now you know why I ripped those earphones off.
Devin? We saw them.
So what?
The bees. 4 huge bees, this big. We saw them in the garden through the window.
It's true.
That's utter nonsense, bees that size. The whole experience has been too much for you. Now, clear out of here, the whole gang of you.
Look, we saw what we saw.
Do you see anything?
Not a thing, Doctor.
Keeble may not have seen them, but Garth did, and I know I did. I'm not making it up. Doesn't anyone believe me?
You saw something, all right.
Well, then you know I'm not making it up.
I took readings on my sonic equipment. Enormous emanations. They'd have to be huge insects to give off waves like that.
You're just guessing, Kalisher.
I'm not giving opinions, Dr. Marshall. The computer analyzed the facts. Now, you can quarrel with it if you want to.
You might as well tell us. Even I don't believe your denial.
It began at the time of the Ark accident. Specimens had been noted in the logs for over 200 years. I just began breeding them scientifically in the experimental bunkers. They're gentle, intelligent, masters of social organization, incredibly hard workers, producing superior honey in unbelievable quantities. I don't want you around here anymore. You can do irretrievable damage, and as for you 3, you found out what you came to learn, so now you can leave. They'd never have escaped if all this hadn't happened. I've got to get them back to the hive. And when I return, I expect to find you gone.
Well, I'm glad you were here. I think Garth and I would begin to doubt we even saw them.
Yeah, well, part of me still did, Rachel. Oh, sure, I took the readings, and they told me what to believe, but somehow I couldn't. Not until you actually saw it. And now I'm really curious. I want to know everything about them. Now it all makes sense. Or does it? That's what I couldn't figure out, where the signals were coming from.
What signals?
The signals to the hives. The thing that upset them and made them swarm. Well, don't you see it? The mutants are controlling the regular bees. Sure, they heard my simulated hum and it upset them. And then they signaled the small bees to swarm and attack. Well, it's not the ordinary bees that are dangerous. They couldn't care less. They're just bees and they obey their own instincts. But the big ones have the intelligence and the power.
Are you saying that Pete won't be able to control them?
I'm not saying anything. This says it all. All it did was make sense of reels of informational output that I gathered without even suspecting its importance. When I ripped my earphones off back here, I had the first horrible hint of something too incredible to even consider. But it was there. Massive signals sent into that garden from a source considerable distance away. The signals were received and absorbed. I know because I read the drop-off right there on my portable equipment. Now what or who received them? I did a simple sonic triangulation, and it fixed on Dr. Marshall. I'm sorry, Dr. Heather. They talk right to him. They give him orders. He's under their control.
You can't mean that.
Oh, I don't mean they give him orders exactly. I wish they did, then he could sooner or later catch on to them. No, it's subtler than that. It's thought transference or inference or something. And they flatter him, trust him, make him feel like he's one of them. In fact, Doctor, he's no better than their stable boy. Only he doesn't know it.
Computers can be wrong. They're only as good as what's been fed into them. As a matter of fact, that portable equipment isn't very reliable.
Devon, you may say what you like about Ron Kalisher, but you don't question his equipment. He is the foremost in his field.
Look, Devon, it's no fun throwing a fellow scientist's hospitality into his face. I wish I were wrong.
Well, if you're right, you're saying that there are giant mutants out there with superior intelligence and that Dr. Pete is with them. As a matter of fact, he's become their servant.
Well, maybe nothing will come of it.
What do you mean nothing will come of it? They've already attacked you. They surrounded us. They broke into the tubes. And what happens if they break out again? Maybe they'll turn on Dr. Pete.
I think we should bring him in from out there.
You know it has to be done.
No. He'll never agree to it.
Those mutants are a menace. What if they get out? If they can control your husband, they can control anyone.
They do not control him. They do not.
Works as hard as any of the worker bees. He keeps the same hours. He's one of them. Face the facts, Doctor.
Then we will kill the mutants.
He'll never let us do that.
Nevertheless, we will.
But how? You could never get close enough.
The Queen is the key to it. If we kill her, the others will be confused. They won't do a thing.
But they'll be guarding her. We'd have to get through the swarm of little bees, and they'd be ordered to attack at once.
Insecticide. We will inject insecticide into the emergency bunkers. And that will kill the Queen.
Heather, your husband's with them.
Pete. Pete, can you hear me? Pete, can you hear me?
Yes. What is it, Heather?
Could you come back to the lab, please? We have to talk to you.
Yes, I'll be there in a minute. What are you planning, Heather? What kind of destruction? What are you doing back there?
They've warned him. They can monitor us and they pass the word on to him. Well, they know something's up. They don't know exactly what, but they can read trouble easily enough.
Whatever you're planning, I won't hear of it.
My darling, listen to me. Please come back here at once, if only to speak to us. Despite what you think, you are in danger.
This is my laboratory. I rescued it from nothing. These are my bees. I won't have them interfered with. If I have to, I'll protect them with my life.
Gotta go out there and get him.
I don't like it. They're all aroused, can't you hear them?
You've got protective gear, haven't you? The flowers are thick enough out there we could sneak out and creep up on Dr. Pete.
He's right, Harry. It's got to be done. As soon as you bring him back in, we'll start funneling the insecticide into the experimental bunkers.
You'll have to use SS25T urethane compound 221. It's a rot control for the vegetation, but it's fatal to most bees.
All right, I'll ready it for the bunker. You're going to have to make absolutely sure that that iris is shut. That stuff kills people, too.
The bees are into the transportation tubes again. A15, A17, and A19.
Seal all tubes. Seal A15, A17, A19.
Tubes A15, A17, and A19 sealed.
Dr. Heather, they're in the air vents.
Seal all air vents to zoological laboratory.
Zoological laboratory air vents sealed.
Get them, Harry. Quickly. All right. We've got to do it now.
All right. As soon as we're through those doors, get them closed fast.
Devin. Don't hurt him.
Thanks. I'm getting some activity out there. The small bees are aroused and they sense danger. They've transmitted it to the mutants. But the mutants are signaling. Can't make it all out. I haven't fed enough input into the computer yet. It doesn't read enough signals. The mutants have alerted Dr. Pete.
Report on supply of SS25T insecticide.
Feed pipes to experimental bunker charged with 150 units SS25T. Warning, insecticide deadly to insects and human subjects.
Get back. I forbid any approach to the mutants. I can't predict what they'll do.
You better come with us, Dr. Marshall. Your wife wants you back in the zoo lab.
Let me go! You think I don't know what you're planning? Well, it won't work. I will not have my program interfered with. My feet! We've got him, Dr. Heather!
Release the insecticide, 150 units at 100 KSC.
The mutants sense what's happening. They're calling for help from the hives.
The insecticide! On the ground! Don't forget the door, Keeble! I'll get the iris! How could you do that, Heather? The invaluable heritage of accident and husbandry, a species unknown in all our history, the work of my lifetime.
I had to do it. Even if you hate me, you know that I did it for you. My darling, they dominated you. You didn't know it. None of us did.
Dominate me? Insects dominate me? Your judgment isn't worthy of scientific discipline.
Try to understand why I did it.
I know why you did it, because you listened to him.
I can't get a reading of any kind. I don't get any life signs from the tropical gardens at all.
Well, never mind them. The mutant queen, is she still alive?
I can't get a reading. I don't get any life signs. I'm sorry, Dr. Marshall.
Dr. Heather. He's still unconscious.
He took in too much insecticide.
If you hadn't closed that iris.
Will he recover?
Yes. SS25T is deadly, but the additional airspace dissipated the gas below the crucial concentration level, I'm sure of it.
Doctor, I'm getting bee activity in the garden. How many hives do you have altogether?
43.
Well, the emanations are low grade, but healthy. I'd say you haven't lost more than a few stray bees.
What is it, Ron? What are you hearing?
It's not possible. I'm getting signals from the experimental bunker. Look at the small bees have gotten in there.
I doubt it.
It's getting louder. Listen.
It didn't work. It didn't work. They're stronger than we thought.
Maybe the open iris dissipated the insecticide.
What does it matter? The Queen is alive. And this time, nobody will touch her. Do you understand that? No one. She's fooled you. She's fooled a lot of you. She's saved.
Report concentration level, insecticide, experimental bunkers.
Concentration level SS25T, experimental bunker achieved main maximum 17.53 units per cubic liter. Gas now exhausted.
Was dose administered sufficient to be lethal?
Dose administered exceeds lethal dose 6 times.
You heard that?
I did.
Does that mean that they can't be killed?
It means they're virtually indestructible, at least by insecticide.
I would never have thought it, Heather.
As long as we can control them, they're just like any other species with its place in the universe. But if they turn on you, what do we do then? How do we cope?
They will turn on us now, you know. They're no fools. Their brain pan is larger proportionately than a dolphin's. They have a wealth of sensory organs whose function can only be guessed at. And what you've done, a foolish, misbegotten attempt to gas them, can only turn them against me, too. I shall never be able to walk into their presence again. Do you know the weight of venom that they can inject in a single sting? Do you know its strength? The cube root of the difference in mass between an ordinary bee and a mutant. As to their mandibles, they can bite through a human thorax without stopping for breath.
Then we have no choice. We have to eliminate them.
We'll do everything we can to help you, Heather.
We'll need help. We have to be sure to get them all, even the larvae.
Not the larvae.
You must have a brood hundreds strong. Only hope we can find where they secreted the stuff.
But if the insecticide didn't work?
Temperature. They slow at 55 degrees Fahrenheit, more so at 50. We'll drop the temperature to 50, perhaps even 45 to be quite sure. And then when they're numb, we'll inject the pure SS25T into their systems. And my darling, you have to do it.
Dr. Heather, he's really no better.
All we can do is hope that the injection works. I don't think he had a lethal dose. No one else is feeling the after effects.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a bit woozy.
Are you breathing deeply?
Yes.
Feeling faintly nauseous?
Yes.
So am I.
So am I. Open air vents, open air vents. Restore full oxygen supply, Central Zoological Laboratory.
Vents open, full oxygen supply restored.
The activity's increasing.
Well, that's to be expected.
Oh, but not this level, Doctor. Listen, it's massive.
It's almost as if they could read our thoughts.
Your thoughts? You're the one they're sensitive to. They send you their emanations like radar, and then they wait for the reflections. How else could they be aware of everything that goes on in this room?
Mustn't waste time. We must do the thing at once.
Wait, listen. I'm getting readings close by. Not the tropical gardens, but the small bees. They're swarming again.
Heather, check the tubes.
Report insect presence in supply galleries and transport tubes.
Tube A15 occupied by swarm, 55% mass of normal hive.
They've gotten out again. They surrounded us in here.
Close all air vents, Central Zoological Laboratory. Repeat, close all air vents, Central Zoological Laboratory.
Dr. Heather?
He's dead. Fahrenheit temperature gauge, interior experimental bunkers.
Reading 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Update. Reading 75.33 degrees.
Reduce temperature rapidly to 50 degrees. Repeat, reduce temperature experimental bunkers to 50 degrees.
Temperature declining. Reading now 73.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Declining and counting.
Don't blame yourself for Keeble's death. None of us could have known. He would never have been overcome so easily if he hadn't already been weakened by the insecticide.
I regret losing the species. I'm nearly ready.
You won't let them influence you again.
No. I know now what has to be done.
You'll wear protective gear.
No, I don't need it. The worker guards trust me, and so when I get to the Queen, she'll be totally immobilized. Once she's gone, the others are useless.
Hey, please don't be worried. Dr. Pete's gonna do everything he has to. No one knows more than he does.
You don't have to reassure me. I don't need that. I know we're locked in here fighting beasts with powers we can't even guess at.
You're right. I think you're very brave.
Not really. But I appreciate what you're trying to do. Actually, I'd rather know the truth, whatever it is.
Well, I don't know everything they're doing. The place has been full of signals. They've already blocked most of our tubes and flooded into the galleries. Bees from every one of the small hives have been dispatched to carry out orders.
How long do you think we can breathe in here?
Dr. Heather?
Estimate air supply, Central Zoological Laboratory, 6-person average mass.
17 minutes air supply, remaining at full capacity, 6-person average mass.
Temperature reading experimental bunkers.
Experimental bunkers temperature reading 51.1 degrees declining, 50 degrees and holding.
Dr. Heather, I'm getting emanations from the service module directly behind the experimental bunkers. What's in the service module?
The temperature control mechanism.
They've sent the small bees there to get the temperature up again. They know what we've been doing.
They know everything we do in here. And they can read me like a book. They're incredibly clever. Well, I'm ready to go.
I'll come with you, Doctor.
No, not now. It's too dangerous. We can't be sure that the temperature has really immobilized them. But when I am sure, I'll call for you. Stand by.
Report on life signs in galleries, service areas, transport tubes.
All galleries, all service areas, all transport tubes now occupied by average approximately 10,000 bees per area.
Report on method of entry.
Irises remain closed, one air vent each passage wedged open by bodies of bees, permitting minimal entry slit.
If cold kills, why don't you drop the temperature 50 degrees? Surely we could survive that long enough to kill them.
Immediate reduction temperature, all galleries, service areas, transport tubes to 0 degrees Fahrenheit.
Temperature gauge controls inoperable. Repeat, temperature gauge controls inoperable. Wedged in present state by packed bee bodies.
If this is war, I know who's winning it.
Dr. Heather, it's a message from Dr. Marshall.
A message?
Yes. Yes, the carrier waves are the emanations from the giant bees, but the modulation reads out in Dr. Marshall's cadences. His syntax.
What does he say?
He wants you out there, Devon. In the bunker.
Why couldn't he have used the communication channel?
I don't like it, Devon. I don't think you should go.
And Rachel's right. I've got to go, Garth. And I'm going with you.
No, he wants you alone. And you're not to wear protective gear. It might provoke the bees. He says you'll be perfectly safe.
Devon, I don't trust my instincts anymore, but I think you should listen to Rachel. Don't go.
I'll be all right, Heather. If anything happens, it's up to the rest of you.
Dr. Marshall! I'm glad you came. I knew you would.
You didn't do it, did you?
Kill her? No, I don't think it would have worked. She's too strong. Her system can cope with any kind of pollution, poison, insecticide. Does that surprise you?
I get less and less surprised by everything that happens in this place, Dr. Marshall.
I can still be shocked, but more in wonderment than in fear. For instance, these mutants have the most perfect social organization in the universe. Yes, they do. Far superior in intelligence and in every way. Rats, ants, you name it. It'd be a crime now to try and harm them.
I was afraid that once you were near them again, that they'd influence you.
You must be careful what you say. You might provoke her. She's given you safe conduct, just as she's given me. To talk.
Talk? With insects?
Not with ordinary insects. Geniuses. Super beings.
What do you want from me, Dr. Marshall?
Come over to my side. To our side. Help me while I study her.
You don't need my help. What do you really want?
Oh, you see, these mutants are the most wonderful creatures, and all they want from us is to help them in certain functions that they're not fitted to perform. And in return for that, they'll allow you and your friends and Heather to live on.
He's trying to win Devon over to their side. to serve the mutants, and in return we'll be allowed to live. The mutants are planning to take over all the biospheres and make them into large hives.
And the biospheres are full of people.
Well, the mutants care about that. They have no feelings. They have their own scheme, their own survival to think of. Well, I'm not waiting for that.
What are you going to do, Garth? They've got Devon hostage.
Must be another way to the bunkers.
You can go through the transport tubes, knock in an observation screen. It can be done.
But the tubes are full of bees. They'll attack him.
I have some gear. That'll get you through the small bees at least. This will do it.
I'm gonna get to the queen bee. What do I do when I get there?
Well, if you could get to the temperature controls, you could freeze them.
I could try.
No, that's too risky. The bees have jammed the controls. Look, there is a way. This is for the quick freezing of lab specimens. It reduces anything that it sprays to 100 degrees below zero. No specimen can survive it.
Garth, you'll have to hurry. The bees are swarming out of the tropical garden. In a few minutes, they'll have control of the whole station.
Good luck.
We haven't got much time left, Devon. I want your decision. And let me caution you that the wrong decision may cost all of you your lives.
Don't listen to them, Doctor. They're using you. You're our species, not theirs. What do they want you for except as some kind of a servant? No. You're against every scientific thing you ever believed in.
It's enough. You've said quite enough already. There's no way that you're going to get out of here alive. Don't do it. She wants to live. She has so much to give. She's changed her mind. She's telling me that she doesn't really want to take over the biospheres. She's dying! Devon, stop him, please. We can still save her.
Heather. You're free of them.
Yes. Yes, I am. And the little ones, where are they?
Swarming everywhere. All over the station. It'll take you days to get them back into their hives.
I'm so glad they're safe.
You know, I used to like honey. I've seen enough bees to last me the rest of my life.